Alright, so what we have here is a George Nicoll rustless 8 iron from Leven, Scotland. We're trying to decide if refurbishing or restoring it will give it more value or if it will make it lose its historical value. Before you make such a decision, there are two things you need to evaluate: its rarity and its condition.
George Nicoll was a renowned Scottish iron head forger based in Leven, Scotland. The firm began in 1881. Their trademark is the raised hand of friendship, or helping hand clique mark. The exact style of the hand and signature and logo changed over time, and collectors often date Nicoll clubs by the version of the hand. Our first clue is the hand. The hand appeared in the early 1900s, which means this club is not from the 1800s. Our second clue is the 11-5 Scotland engraving. Although we see it on all Nicoll clubs, this specific position started in the 1930s onward. Our third clue is the number engraved on the sole. Numbers started being engraved during the steel shaft era, which is roughly from 1930 to 1970. Our fourth clue is this tree-like engraving on the back of the head, which started only around the 1940s onward. Our fifth clue are the holes on the face. You can tell that the holes are very straight and probably made by a machine. George Nicoll's irons were punched by hand before the 1930s. So this confirms our theory that this is a club from the 30s or 40s. Our last clue is the shaft. It's definitely not a hickory shaft, but surprisingly enough, it's not a steel shaft either. It's actually a faux wood finish graphite shaft. So this could mean two things. It's either a club from the 30s or 40s that was modified by the previous owner, or it's an original shaft. But graphite shafts only started to appear in the 70s. So we're down to two theories. The first one, in which this club is from the 1940s, meaning it's going to be antique in about 15 years. Our second theory is that club was one of the last ones produced by the Nicoll family company, somewhere between 1975 and 1982, after the graphite shaft testing era during the 70s. In that case also, trying to restore or preserve it is worth it. So both theories guide us towards a restoration. Theory number one guides us towards restoration because this club has lost all its value anyways. And theory number two guides us to restoration because that might just be one of the last Nicoll family company club. So let's go.
So after evaluating all the information we gathered, this is the final decision. We're going to clean up and buff the head and add a protective clear coat. We're going to keep the shaft. We are also going to keep the original handle and grip, but although some collectors like to have it in their actual state, we're going to try to keep the grip, but restore it as much as possible so that this piece doesn't break. And you can tell underneath that it's a wood handle. And you can see here that they used to nail grips because they didn't have adhesive grips. And because the leather strips were flat, they would actually punch holes in them to give it some kind of grip. So before I even start repairing this grip, I'm gonna try to condition it, to try and rehydrate it so it's not crumbling as much. So in this case, I won't be using glue just because the handle is an original handle. And if I put glue, and eventually someone wants to change that grip for some reason, the glue will stay on the wood, and removing that glue from the wood will damage the original handle, and we don't want that. So I'm going for very thin, clear, double-sided tape, and on top of that, we'll add a protective leather coat and hope for the best. Hope that this grip doesn't move anymore. So because this club is intended for a collector, I'm assuming, he's not going to want to see these pieces of tape. So here we have it, a restored, well, I wouldn't say restored, a cleaned up George Nicoll 8-iron from Scotland. And like I said, there's always that debate. Should you do more or less? Does it add value or does it remove it? So let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.